Hey, don't flee. That's gonna be. You're escalating it. That's a felony. Hey, can I put a meter on your? I got my own meter.
No, you can back up.
I don't know if I can say that on YouTube.
Yeah, you
No, you're not gonna test our patrol vehicles.
20%. This is not within legal standards.
Emergency service vehicles, they do have exemptions.
Actually, that's not true. I'm not in your way. I'm just looking. Can we test yours? There's a deputy over here to our left coming up, getting out of his vehicle. But I intended to walk straight toward these police cars up ahead to look at the tint real fast. But make a mental note for later in this video. Does this deputy approach me or do I approach the deputy?
Hey, sir, how are you?
Good, how you doing? I'm just actually, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
The tint, it doesn't apply to me. I have tint exemptions on my vehicles.
Okay.
I'm just curious though, if somebody is stopped for just tint, let's say just tint, like you think somebody's tint is too dark, how you doing? And you say, I'll let the window up or down so I can put the meter on it. And they say, no, I'd rather not help you. They're being nice, whatever, but they're like, I'd rather not help you. I'd rather not participate in an investigation, build evidence against me. And technically, it might sound petty. Some people think it's petty, but it's the way the law is defined. The tint meter is defined as a search because it enters the vehicle. So I'm just curious, at that point, if they say no, I'd rather not put my window up or down, do you know where that would leave you? This is something, and I'm getting different answers, which is the reason why I'm asking. So I'm just curious if you know where that, it's not a trick question. I'm not here to be like, I got you. That's not it.
Personally, I don't use a tint meter. I don't enforce tint meter laws because I don't have a tint meter, so I wouldn't be able to answer your question. I'm not going to tell you something that I'm uninformed about.
No, I appreciate that. Do you know if someone did encounter that situation, could they threaten them with arrest?
I'm not going to answer that question because I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to tell you something I'm uninformed about.
Is your tint legal or? Hey, can I put a meter on your? I got my own meter.
No, you can back up though.
Can we test yours?
No, you're not going to test our patrol vehicles. That's not how that works.
That's not how that works. It's technically our patrol vehicles, right?
I mean,
I was nice to you, wasn't I? Wasn't I nice to you? Being nice to everybody.
I understand. So if we see a vehicle and it appears to be too dark,
right,
it does give us probable cause to stop the vehicle.
Right, yeah, I get that. I get that, yeah.
So, and then we use these tint meters
to
verify that.
Right.
If it does come up that it is too dark for state statute,
right.
I believe it's 25 all around.
I think it's 27. Yeah, well, 27 in the front, 15 in the back.
I don't know a whole lot of people because I don't have a tint meter, so it doesn't make a lot of sense for me to do it.
Yeah.
But if we...
I wasn't trying to trick you, man. I don't know why you get so hostile.
I'm not hostile.
Well, you're like, I'm not going to answer that. You can back up.
No, the reason I just don't like people approach me. It's a safety thing, and I'm also not going to tell you something that.
We get technical. You approached me.
Well, I mean,
I was back here. He walked up to me.
Okay. I was just wondering if you had any questions or if there's anything I can help you out.
Yeah. So,
like I said, I'm not gonna tell you something I don't know about. If I don't know about it, I'm not gonna lie to you. So.
Yeah, no, and I don't want you to lie to me. Yeah, and we were talking about that. That's all I was doing. I was trying to verify if your tint was legal or not. Because marked police cars aren't exempt, right?
So there's citizens calling for our assistance out there on 911. So we're gonna go ahead and head to that.
Yeah, okay.
If you have any other questions, then you can feel free to contact.
I agree. I wouldn't want to show me either. It might look hypocritical. But no, my question was, it's 27 in the front, 15 in the back. I was just curious if somebody said...
I don't remember the exact numbers.
I'm telling you, those are the numbers. But
I'd have to look up again.
Yeah, those are them. You can look it up, but those are them. But I was just curious.
Also, emergency service vehicles, they do have exemptions for many traffic violations.
Actually, that's not true. Marked...
It does say emergency service vehicle.
No, it doesn't. I promise you, marked vehicles are not exempt from the tint laws. Unmarked vehicles have some exemptions in the state of Florida. What was your name, Carol? Let's look at his tint real quick. So he just said police vehicles have exemptions. Can I test yours? His borderline is hard to say. Yeah, I think his it could be a little dark. It could be a little dark. I think yours, can we put this on yours? Can we test yours? Real quick. Yeah, that looks a little dark. Can we test this one? Let's see. Carol, he says that police vehicles are exempt. Police vehicles are not exempt. And the reason I'm asking is because we see a lot of hypocritical policing. Police cars with tint. The AS1 line too, I think. I was just seeing where your
I do
AS1
have to
line
go
is.
to another car.
Yeah, I'm not in your way. I'm just looking. Where's your AS1 line?
Huh?
Is this below the AS1 line?
It's right on it.
It's right on it. But can we throw this on there? When you come back, maybe? Hey, if you don't let me put this meter on there, I can charge you with resisting. I don't want to have to charge you with resisting just over window tint. Don't flee. If you flee, that's going to be a felony. Fleeing and looting. I appreciate you don't flee. Let's not escalate this. It's just window tint, man. Just window tint. I'm just going to give you a ticket, test it, give you a ticket or a warning. I don't know yet. But if you decline to participate, it might be a different story. Just take a second. Just throw that on there. Just take a second. Just boop, right on there. Technically, yes, it'll be considered a search of the vehicle because it enters your vehicle, passes the threshold. But if the people can be forced to do it, I think the people should be able to force public employees to do it on the vehicles that are funded by the public. If it's within legal limits, which would be 27 in the front, I'll thank you for your cooperation, and you go about your day. That's it. I wonder, he said he had to leave. He said he had to leave. He didn't say that's why you always record. He didn't say he's on a call. He didn't say he's in the middle of anything. He just said he had to leave. He did put his seatbelt on. And make sure we're nothing interpreted as me standing in front of the vehicle to see where I am here. They can't claim that I'm blocking his way or anything crazy like that. Just don't flee. That's gonna be. You're escalating it. That's a felony. Now you're fleeing. Now we got a bigger problem. Now you're fleeing. Okay. All right. You want to do it that way? Good note. Silly to escalate things like that, Carol. I personally, I don't care what tint they have, but if we're enforcing on the people, if we're stopping people, citizens, for suspicion of tint alone, then we should be able to do the same. That one, I'm thinking this one's probably around 15% in the front. That one over here, I'm gonna say is definitely within the guidelines. That's a good example. This vehicle right here is a good example. We've got much lighter in the front, darker in the back. So this one, I can say from my training and experience, is within the guidelines. This one here, you see the difference here? We got that one versus that one. We can see right through there. Here, we cannot, right? I think he's on the AS1 line. Now the AS1 line, there's an AS1 line printed on most windshields, and Florida law says it has to be on or above the AS1 line. It can't come below the AS1 line. And they'll stop you for that too. And we do see a lot of these police cars with tint below the AS1 line, tint too dark. This one probably is right on the AS1 line. Yeah, actually, this one is just below the AS1 line. You see that mark right there is the AS1 line, and you see that tint is just below it. Is that petty and technical? Absolutely it is. Would they be petty and technical with the public? Absolutely they would. Maybe not all of them, but some of them will. Some of them will be petty. They will write you a tint ticket for that little bit below the AS1 line, because technically speaking, and they're not exempt. Just doing window tint checks.
For what?
For legal tint. Do you know if yours is legal?
I don't know.
All right, this one, so the side windows might be okay, but this one here, the AS1 line is right there. You see the AS1 line right there? And the tint is way down here. Hey, what's going on?
What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing, man? I haven't seen you in a while, man. How you been?
Good. You remember that guy I was with last time?
Yeah.
He's on a warrant right now. I gotta head that way. But
Oh no, you're good, man.
If you want to talk, I'll be back.
Yeah, it was nice. I like when I get to have interactions like
I like
that,
your
man.
energy, man. I like your energy.
Yeah, you too, man. Anyway, what I was saying, this one here, the AS1 line, right there. Where'd it go? Right, AS1 line is right here. You see that? By Florida law, the tint has to be on or above that. The tint is well below that line, right? So this one, technically, if this was a citizen's vehicle, they could write you a ticket for this. This would be probable cause for them to stop you. And unlike what Carol said, police vehicles, I would love to hear what he's talking about, where it says that emergency vehicles are exempt, because that's absolutely not the case. says the opposite. Our emergency vehicles are not exempt. And this is Florida. Always check your areas, the state where you live. I'm talking about Florida, right? There are certain vehicles that may be exempt from the tint statutes, the tint regulations. Marked police vehicles are not. Now, I have noticed with this agency here, the Volusia County Sheriffs Office, I've noticed that their newer vehicles coming in seem to be getting tinted within legal standards. And a couple people that work with this agency have told me the same, that they are starting to tint them legally, which, hey, I appreciate that. One of the two, I like dark tint, right? This is one of the reasons, I've got exemptions, so I can have dark tint. And I don't care if they have dark tint. I don't care. My thing is I'm just narrating. Hey, so
I know you're recording. Just give me a second, okay?
Yeah.
I gotta take care of something.
I'm just narrating something as you're doing this. So I don't care who has tint. Police cars could have as dark tint as they want. Doesn't bother me. I don't care. I like dark tint too. But what we shouldn't see is hypocritical policing. I hate to see a police vehicle with illegal tint stopping people for suspected illegal tint when they've got the same thing, and it's not an exemption. There is no exemption in the state of Florida for marked police vehicles, unlike what the other deputy said. So either have your vehicles tinted legally, or don't use the illegal tint vehicles to enforce tint statutes. That's all. This deputy here pulled up as we're out here. She seems to have good energy and a good attitude, and she might be one that lets us check this tint. Looks like it's the front windows, at least. The back windows definitely are good on this vehicle. The front windows, I don't know, it's hard to say with it open like that. 27%. It might be 28. I know I'm saying 27, but it might be 28. It's one of the two, 27 or 28 for these front side windows.
Wait, I'm trying
No.
to find somebody to come get the intern.
You're fine. You're good. So you're very...
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I
You can
appreciate
take
it.
I don't mind.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And this is, this is all I look for. So we're going to put the meter on. Half of it does enter the vehicle. And we actually show 20%. So you got 20% on the front window. So technically this is not within legal standards. It was hard to tell with the light. It's not super crazy dark, but the front, are you familiar with what the front, it's a 27%?
Yep.
And I noticed on this vehicle, zoom in to get that 20%. Your back ones definitely are good. And we got the AS1 line right here.
Yeah.
Obviously they gave you the vehicle.
Yeah.
So you didn't do it, but as the operator, you're responsible for it. So I'm just out here doing.
You're good. Like I said, I don't mind. I understand why you're out here. Personally, I don't care.
Yeah.
Rage baiter. It's a simple request. If it tickles your peach to check my tint.
I don't know if it tickles my peach, but it's part of it. It's part of a bigger story that I'm working on. But to be clear, also, I know everybody calls me an auditor. I have never proclaimed myself to be an auditor.
Yeah.
I'm more of an independent investigator, investigative journalist, and I like to call myself quality control. That's all. But I when I come out, I assume that my First Amendment rights are going to be respected. I don't run into an issue with that. So I'm not out here to audit that.
Like I said, if that's what you want to check tint.
Yeah, and it's just a. Yeah. Do you know? I appreciate you. Do you think if you said no, I'm not going to put that window down? If the roles were reversed, right? You were a citizen and I was a deputy, that I could have said I'm going to arrest you if you don't.
Well, it'd be a little bit different, but I won't get too deep into that because that's, like I said, I'm just trying to go home.
I get you, and I don't want to hold you up.
Yeah, no, that would be it. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But it's not quite the same. Are they with you?
No, I just saw them walk up too.
I don't mean to cut you off.
No, what was your name though? Just
Deputy Puglisi.
What is it? Puglisi. Now, she had a great attitude. She didn't display any ego, no cop-splaining or anything like that, aside from that little "that's different" thing. And interactions like this are what people respect and appreciate. It's unfortunate that she no doubt will get some crap and some negativity from others at her department due to her friendliness and willingness to participate. Administration would much rather see the reactions that we saw from the deputies before her. Telling a friendly citizen to back away from you only because you suddenly don't like that question that was just asked. They would rather see hostility be displayed toward me simply because I do what I do. And while it's unfortunately very rare, The people appreciate and respect interactions like we saw here with Puglisi.
Yeah, no, I get you.
But I appreciate you.
Yeah, of course. Hope you have a good day.
You too. All right, so there we go. This vehicle is not legal. We put the meter on. Front window is not legal. It is below the AS1 line, and she's aware of it. And that's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Either, and nobody wants to answer that question. Nobody wants, when I say, hey, could you be arrested? And she said, that's different. No, it's not different, right? I reverse the scenario. If she's a citizen and I'm the deputy and she said, no, I don't want to put my window down, could I say, I'm going to arrest you if you don't put the window down so I can test this and build evidence against you, and you must assist me in doing that. If I don't, could you arrest me? Could a threat of arrest be made? Nobody wants to answer that question because it appears to be very gray among law enforcement. The fact of the matter is, we do have people in law enforcement out here stopping cars they believe have dark tint, and somebody says, no, I'd rather not participate in the evidence, in you building evidence against me. And right away, we escalate to, I'm going to take you to jail if you don't. And like I said, you saw this enter the vehicle. It goes beyond the threshold. When it breaks the threshold of that window, this is defined a search under the Fourth Amendment. So when you say, no, I don't consent to any searches, this is a search. So where is the line? I was here today as part of an ongoing story I'm working on that will be out shortly for a situation that comes up every once in a while, and it's come up again. The Fifth Amendment says you have the right not to incriminate yourself. The Fourth Amendment protects you against searches and seizures. The window tint meter is defined as a search. In a recent incident, a 72-year-old male was stopped for window tint. He was asked to raise his window so the tint meter could be applied. He said he didn't want to participate in the investigation, and he did not consent to any search or seizure. Immediately, the deputy escalated to threat of arrest. Under that threat, the driver complied. The driver reminded the deputy he did not consent to a search, and the deputy told him that he didn't search, he just used a tint meter, which is defined as a search. I began asking officers and deputies from various agencies what they could or would do in this situation. Some don't know what they can do. Some refuse to answer, which likely means they don't know but don't want to say. Some say they could make an arrest, although every one of them said they would not do that, while others say they could not threaten arrest. In a previous incident, Jeff Gray, Honor Your Oath Civil Rights Investigations, had a similar incident, and he also refused to participate in that investigation against him by manipulating his windows physically. The sheriff of Flagler County, Sheriff Staley, where that incident took place, said in an interview or a statement that the driver, Gray, had every right to refuse to participate in that investigation, every right to refuse to put his windows down, just like he would have the right to refuse to participate by taking field sobriety exercises in a DUI investigation. There's a couple of options there. For one, I'm trying to see if officers think they can force them. Can you say, I'm going to take you to jail if you don't put the window up? Would you agree you could do that, or you could not do that?
I don't think that would be applicable.
I agree with that. I agree.
I wouldn't make it an arrest on that.
Yeah, no.
I'll say that much.
Do you think you could make an arrest on that?
For asking them to put their window down?
So you could put the meter on just so you can test it, right? So you've already talked to them, their door is open and they're talking to you, whatever the case may be. And then you say, can you put your window down so I can put my meter on your window? And they say, no, I don't want to put my window down. Could you arrest them?
I have an answer for that, but no, I have no comment.
You have no comment?
I'll get ready to answer it, but I'd rather say I have no comment.
No comment would look worse than anything else.
We all patrol a little different, you know.
Do you feel that lawfully you could say, I'm going to take you to jail if you don't put the window down? I know you wouldn't, and I agree with that, especially over something so petty. I personally would say, all right, look, like you said, I think it's a little too dark. Look into it, check into it. Or I might, at most, if you feel like you have to write something,
and
I would write that ticket anyway, float it through, say, driver refused, based on my training and experience.
And you can do that. That's fine to do that.
I think those are the two plays.
And the thing with me, with writing a ticket, I'll say it like this. Would I write a ticket if you refuse to let me test your tint? Me, probably not, because if you take that to court, I try not to look like a dumbass in court.
Yeah,
I don't know if I can say that on YouTube,
yeah,
but it's like,
right.
I don't want to look like a little dummy in court. So it's like, I'd rather go to court and have like evidence like, hey, this was the percentage, Your Honor, this was it. So it's like, oh, you're going to be guilty. You kind of now have to change it or just pay that fine and take whatever penalty it is. So it's like, if I'm going to write you that ticket, I want some evidence so it'll stand up. You know what I mean? Because if I write that ticket and I don't have proof that it's dark and I was just like, oh, it looks like it's too dark and you refuse to let me test it, it's like, oh, how could I really prove that your tint is too dark? Because it can look dark, but it may not be dark. And I'll be honest with you.
As with the DUI.
That too.
You know,
that too. It's
he
like
seemed drunk, but he may not be drunk.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Like you might
so
be under
kinda,
that whole weight. So it's like, yeah, you're right. And it's like,
it may go through, it may not.
And that's the thing.
You know?
And that's how it is. And you have to give me more reason to get to that point where it's like, okay, now you're refusing to do what I tell you. Get out the car. I'm gonna take you to jail because you refuse to do what I asked you to do. So it's like it's gonna take a little more than just tint for me to arrest you for refusing to let your window down. So again, more have to be played into it. Refusing to ID yourself, refusing to do whatever I asked you to do. But again, I'm not gonna ask you to do nothing that I know is a violation of your right.
Right.
I'm a fair guy.
And
I'm not gonna.
I can tell you're big on de-escalation too.
Yeah, so it's
and
like I'm not
huge.
gonna.
See, I mean, it's a catch-22, I guess, but again, I guess it's situational specific, and it's also discretion of the officer how they choose to go about doing it. I mean, obviously, if they decide, all right, you don't want to participate, but I can tell based on what I see, you're illegal. I'm going to write you the ticket, indicate in the citation in the notes portion that you refused, and you can take the citation to court, and it'll go from there. If it gets tossed, it gets tossed. If it doesn't and it sticks, then you're stuck paying the citation. Move on about your day.
That's just a tiny sample of the people I've spoken to over the past month about this. But here's what disturbs me the most. You can't argue that you are not protected by the 4th and 5th Amendments from being forced to help police build evidence against you by entering your vehicle under definition of the law against your will. And we don't get one straight universal answer from every cop that we ask. I'm glad that they all said they would never threaten arrest for that, aside from the deputy we know of that did it. But I think this identifies a big problem. Definitely go in the comments and let me know what you think. And like I said, I have tint exemptions. You can get them too. Just Google it, it's not hard, and I might be able to help you with it in an upcoming story. And I can't give you advice, but if I did not have tint exemptions and I was stopped for tint and asked to manipulate my window so they could build evidence against me, I might say, sorry officer, my windows don't work. And I'll just leave that right there. And on top of all of that, we've got cops out here enforcing these things upon you as they drive around with the same violations, and they are not exempt.